Hello, my name is Romolo and thank you for coming back and watching another one of my YouTube videos. I do appreciate it. Today I'd like to continue talking about the progression of space travel as it is today and how people are viewing it and what they're saying that they're achieving and what they are actually achieving. We know the biggest development that we have is the space station in outer space there that we're using. The cost of that space station is over $160 billion. It's as big as a football field, as long as a football field, and it's probably as wide as maybe 20 yards or 30 yards. It's really narrow. And 16 nations have contributed to it, and it's taken over 13 years to accomplish. And how many people have really appreciated the magnificence of it? Very few have flown there, very few have been on the station, and all the money that they spend just fixing it is phenomenal. So we see that even the space station that they're talking about that they've done wonders on really does not really come to any significance towards the development of space travel. Another thing is it's in our inner atmosphere of Earth, so it's really not really outer space. It's still within the Earth's realm of gravitational pull, so it's not really out there, which that's what it makes it seem. Another very good development that they're talking about, and this is what I'm talking about constantly, they say they can, they're thinking about it, there's a possibility about it, it could happen, it should happen, it would happen. But when you really take the logic to the information that you're given from them, you see that the reality is that they're just looking for funding for money and they can't accomplish what they're saying. We know that they have the space shuttle that they're flying up there. Again, the space shuttle has never flown to the moon. It only flies to the space station and back. And it takes an enormous amount of booster engine fuel to fly it up there. And then it flies back on its own, back down to Earth and lands, which is very, very minimum amount of energy, gas, whatever fuel consumption they're using. So we see that even that, and it looks phenomenal, you know. That they're flying up there and flying back. They're really not flying anywhere. Another thing is, and sometimes I'll give you some wonderful ideas for businesses. So if you ever take it, feel free to send me 10% of the business that you're making. Seriously, it's my idea. I like to give it to you. And if you're going to use it, if you don't, I don't mind. I've given many people ideas and businesses, and they've always promised me, don't worry, I'll take care of you. And they have taken care of me by losing my number. It's a true story, and it's happened quite a few times. You know, you have the gentleman there that's flying wanting to give people flights in outer space. Again, it's not outer space. It's still within the lower atmosphere. Once you're above the clouds, a little bit more above the clouds, it's like nighttime and you see the stars, so you feel like you're flying outer space. Technically, you're not. For a business, I think you can do the equivalence of that is to get like a SUV limousine and put like starlights on the sides of it, and if it has a glass top on it, it would be a great idea so they could see the stars at night and just drive them, and maybe have like a restaurant with some sci-fi things in it. I believe will give you a better experience than flying that plane for a short amount of time and flying back. I think that would be great for couples, for groups, you know, would be really exciting. I think that would give you the equivalent of spending all that money on that one quick flight that you can't even move in. That's another thing. Their flights are all locked down, sitting down, and stationary, where they can't even move in. That limousine at nighttime, mighty, mighty romantic. So you can take that advice. You would see how really nice it is. And even in outer space with all the developments and all the things that they're doing and they're achieving up there, there is over 8,500 debris of garbage out there that they're accumulating. So the possibilities are there that that debris can hit a satellite, and all your investments in the satellite that you invested in could be destroyed. Not a fantasy, but a reality. There's another wonderful development that they're talking about that is so erroneous that when you really reflect on what they say the possibility is and what the reality is, you could see that again, they are masterful in communications and getting funds for it. And so you'll see, when I mention it, you'll see that it's not possible. And the thing is, when you say something is not possible, everybody says, well, if this or that or that or this is in the equation, everything is possible. You can say anything like that, but when you look at reality, it's not possible. And what I'm talking about is the space elevator that they said they're working on. An elevator to go up to the space station, which is really a fascinating idea, and they're all looking at it like, oh my God, we could really make an elevator to go up to outer space. Just think about it. You're in an elevator for an hour. Talk about claustrophobic or more, if that was possible, which is not possible. The tallest building we have in the world, I believe is, and I'm not exactly sure, it's 2,732 feet, which is like maybe a little bit more than a half a mile, you know, and the top, the very top of it is with an antenna that they calculate some distance with, you know. So that seems like a lot, 2,722 feet maybe. I believe it's around that much. They have to have a swaying, what is it called? A swaying veritable for the building at that height. A swaying veritable. Now think of this. The building has to move because when the wind shifts, because it gets really difficult up there, it has to move or it will crack. Just like bridges, if they don't have flexibility, now bridges are low, really low, and still the wind pushes it. So if they don't have a certain amount of flexibility, even the bridge will collapse. So, which it's happened, and that's how they found out that they needed the flexibility. The space station is, again, the largest building with the flexibility that it needs, is maybe a half a mile long. The space station from the Earth is 220 miles to 248 miles away. So if you're talking about a veritable inflexibility at maybe a half a mile, all that steel and everything, imagine having an elevator 219 miles more. That is not possible. They know it's not possible, but with TV and the graphics today, I tell you, they can make an elevator that goes from here to Jupiter, to Saturn, to any galaxy known to man. They don't even have to show you any starship. They could just have that elevator. Or, you know, a transport center, you know. So, anyways, so that's what we see today that they have. So think about what they're selling you, and think about what they're selling the governments to invest in, which again is your money. So that's all I want to say today on that subject, to make you really think about it, because again, my idea is a lot less expensive, it's faster to create, and I would really like somebody to look into that and to really see the difference between fantasy and reality. Thank you again for looking at my YouTube video, and I'll have another one up soon. My name is Romolo Tschantret.